Thank you, my dear colleagues, for yielding the floor to me. Very sincerely, my dear colleagues, whilst it is our function to make laws for the good governance of Nigeria, but then for every law, there must be a clear purpose, a clear vision, a clear spirit behind the law. Now, if we ask ourselves one question, what is the essence of a national anthem? I would say, just like other national symbols, the national anthem represents the tradition, the history, the beliefs of a nation and its people. Hence, it helps evoke feelings of patriotism among citizenry and reminds them of their nation's glory, beauty, and rich heritage. So the question I want to ask is, what does this old national anthem remind us of? What is the history behind the old national anthem that our brother, Honorable Professor, is asking us to adopt as our national anthem this morning? History dates back to colonialism.
That's echo.
And why did we go for a new national anthem? Because we wanted to lose ourselves from that colonial tie. And so the country set up a committee to look at the national anthem and a new national anthem amongst competitors which filed in their suggestions. 5 of them were picked and put together, and that gave us the national anthem that we have today. Made by Nigerians, composed by Nigerians, and proper Nigerian national anthem. Let me also remind us that the old national anthem was authored by Lillian Jane Williams and composed by Francis Bender, both of them Briton. And after independence, we tried as much as possible to Nigerianize our actions. So, sir, today we are taking ourselves back to that old national anthem. Incidentally, I will even ask again, is this very important at this particular juncture in our national life? What value would it add to us as a nation? I think that these questions need to be answered. Nigerians are looking up to us for more fundamental issues that will cause proper change. Like Prof took us to history lane, that great men make history. What is the history that we're about to make? History that will change this country, or history that will take us backwards? There are several questions that are left unanswered. So I would stand this morning as a Nigerian, or this afternoon as a Nigerian, to say no to this act. I stand to oppose it, and I pray that we look at it critically and urge issues we need to look at in the bill we are carrying. Firstly, all that we have carried is one stanza, but we have 3 stanzas here. Secondly, if you look at the old national anthem, there are things that we have carried that are not as contained in the old national anthem. So I think that some of these things should be corrected. You can ask the Secretary things like, if you take line 3, though tribes and tongues may differ, the old national anthem has no S. It's though tribe and tongue may differ. That is what is contained in the old national anthem. Yes, so perhaps just to call the attention of the Secretariat to take their time to clean all these things up. There are so many slight errors, commas and all that, and full stops.